Disability Rights Arizona presents Requesting Testing Accommodations. Testing and examinations play a major role in both our educational and professional lives. Colleges often require scores from standardized tests like the SAT or ACT for admissions. Some professions like teaching, medicine, or social work require people to pass a licensing exam in order to be admitted into the profession. Professional trades also frequently require certification testing. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, you can request reasonable accommodations and testing if needed due to a disability, such as a traumatic brain injury. A reasonable accommodation, also called a reasonable modification, is a change to a policy, practice, or procedure in order to provide equal access to facilities and services to people with disabilities. Accommodations can be requested for examinations in many different settings, including standardized tests and exams for entrance, admissions, certification, and licensing. While reasonable accommodations are based on a person's individual needs, some accommodations that might be particularly helpful for individuals with traumatic brain injuries include extended time, extended or additional breaks, quiet or separate testing environments, transcribers to bubble in scantrons or type essays, screen reading technology, and a reader to read aloud questions or prompts. Here are some tips when requesting a reasonable accommodation for testing. Tip 1. Research the testing agency's requirements and procedures for requesting accommodations. Each agency, like the College Board or a state licensing agency, has its own procedures for reviewing and considering reasonable accommodation requests. Make sure you know what the process is and what documentation is required. Tip number 2. Explore possible accommodations. You may already know what accommodations you will need. If you do not know, you can research online the types of accommodations that are available for people with traumatic brain injuries. You can use the Job Accommodation Network, or JAN, website to explore these accommodations. While JAN is for employment, the website also has useful information about accommodations generally. Tip number 3. Gather supporting documentation. Appropriate documentation varies depending on the person's disability and the accommodations requested. The documentation should state your disability, the difficulties you experience because of your disability, and the testing accommodations requested. Gather any other relevant documentation, like previous individualized education programs, or IEPs, 504 plans, or proof of past testing accommodations that discuss your disabilities and the accommodations provided. Tip number 4. Obtain a letter of support. Generally speaking, a letter of support from a medical provider that is familiar with you and your disability-related needs is helpful to prove that the accommodation is necessary. Tell your doctor about any difficulties you experience in testing so they can understand the nature of your disability-related needs. If you ask for a letter from a medical provider, make sure your doctor includes the following information: the doctor's name and title, the doctor's specialty, the number of years your doctor has treated you, a list of your relevant disabilities, the limitations you have because of your disabilities, and the recommended accommodations. Gather all necessary documentation and submit your request for accommodation. You may get asked additional follow-up questions or requests for additional documentation. If you do, make sure to respond in a timely manner. Remember, you should not have to provide exhaustive or overly burdensome information about your disability or disability-related needs in order to receive an accommodation. To access more information about requesting reasonable accommodations, visit Disability Rights Arizona's website at disabilityrightsaz.org or call 602-274-6287. The information presented is intended to be used for informational purposes only and is not legal advice. If you have specific questions or want legal advice, please contact a qualified attorney in your state.